Today, basically, we are going to uh, talk about the question pattern. Once the question pattern is clear, then you can focus on the topics. Is that clear? So, everyone, please pay attention. So, as you all know, semester one, okay, semester one is out of 80 marks. So, it will be brought down to 40, but the paper is going to be out of 80. So, everyone just see, okay. So, the first is the first sem, FIRST, first sem will be out of 80 marks. Got it? So first sem will be out of 80. So we got, everyone, we got three sections. Section A, section A, we got section B, and we got section C. So section A uh, will fetch you 64 marks, and the remaining 16 marks will be from B or C. So there's an option. There's an option, and the option that we are going to do is going to be C. Is that clear? From this particular part, everyone see section C, you're going to get 16 marks, and there is only one chapter, and the name of the chapter is application application of derivative in commerce and economics. There is one chapter which talks about profit, return, investment, marginal, all these. And from this particular topic, you are going to get 16 marks. So you can easily make out that this year's first sem on mathematics is not going to be that difficult. It's all MCQs. But one thing is there, you have to complete all the topics in detail. Got it? You have to complete all the topics in detail. So let us analyze this section wise, because if you understand the what you call the pattern, then you'll be able to concentrate on more on topics, and you will exactly know what type of questions to practice and what type of questions you need not. Is that clear? So once again, everyone, first sem will be out of 80 MCQs. Section A will fetch you 64 marks. Remaining 16 marks will come from B or C. So there's a choice. And in this case, section C, this particular chapter, that is application of derivative in commerce and economics, the chapter which we have completed, I'll do it again, everything from first. Don't worry about that. The chapter which dealt with break-even point, no profit, no loss. That chapter, okay, will give you 16 marks. And the best part about this MCQ types is all the questions are of 2 marks. So they cannot give you lengthy questions. Is that clear? So they just want to check whether the basics is clear or not. Okay, so we come back to section A. Now, section A ma ki huncha bhane, everyone, there'll be 23 questions. There'll be how many questions? 23 questions. You need to know this, because the main problem that you are going to face in the first semester examination is not the question pattern, not the quality of the question, but the duration. But the duration, it's 1.5. 1.5. So in this duration, you have to complete all the questions. So you exactly need to know how many questions you're supposed to attempt. Is that clear? So focus that way. So in section A for 64 marks, there'll be 23 questions. How is this 23 question broken up? So 23 questions you got is broken up into 2 parts. The first part will consist of 20 questions. 20 questions, each carrying 2 marks. So 20 into 2 equal to 40. So 20 into 2 equal to 40. 40. Is that clear? Now the second part, we got 3 questions that are left, QUSTI questions, okay, each carrying 8 marks. 8 marks. So 3 into 8 equal to 24. So see, 40 plus 24 equal to 64. So this is the question pattern which will be coming in your first semester examination. Is that clear? So you have to prepare according to this. Is that clear? So once again, how many chapters? Sorry, how many from section A? From section A, see, you got 23 questions. Out of 23 questions, 20 questions will be 2 marks each. You can call it a short answer question. And 3 questions will each carry 8 marks. So that means 3 into 8 is 24. And this, everyone listen to me, this 3 questions, which where one question will carry 8 marks. In this question also, you will see that there'll be 4 sub questions. Is that clear? What I'm trying to tell you is till question number 20, only one question each, 2 marks. Now question number 21, which is of 8 marks, will have 4 sub questions: 1, 2, 3, and 4. That means a single question, and from this single question, they will ask you 4 sub questions. So 2, 2, 2, 2, again 8. So the moment they ask you a question for 2 marks, is naturally is gonna be a short answer type of question. Is that clear? So basically, first sem, what they are trying to test you is, because I've already told you in second sem they are planning to do that offline test integration and all. So in first sem, they want you all to they want to see how much you have understood the chapters. Is that clear? So I now I'm gonna explain all the chapters that you need to prepare for section A. I've already told you the chapter that you need to prepare for section C, that is called application of derivative in commerce and economics. So what you see out here is 16 marks from here, and from this from section A, nearly, I'll just tell you, okay, nearly 18 marks, nearly 18 marks from derivative. That means this is also derivative, this is also derivative. So 18 plus 16 will roughly give us 34, will roughly give us 34. Okay, so that means 34 marks will come from calculus, that is derivative. That is why we are going to start off with calculus. Since I've already completed calculus while doing online classes, so I will start off again from the basics. So once we complete calculus, then are going to go back to other chapters that are left. Is that clear? So from section C, the calculus portion, that is application of derivatives, is going to come for 16 marks, and from section A you are going to get roughly around 18 to 20. So that brings the total to 30 to 36. Okay, now, so everyone, before I move on to the next part, could you please tell me, look at the board and tell me how many parts are there in the first sem examination? How many parts are there? There are
3.
Okay, very good. There are 3 parts: section A, section B, and section C. B and C is optional, so you can either do B or either do C. We are going to do C because this is a continuation of section A calculus portion. Is that clear? So that will come for 16 marks, and section A will come for 64. So 64 plus 16 will give you 80. Okay, in section A, how many questions are there in total? 23 questions. Out of 23 questions, 20 questions each carrying 2 marks. So 20 into 2 is 40, and there are 3 questions each carrying 8 marks. So 3 into 8 equal to 24. So 40 plus 24 equal to 64. So this is the what do you call composition of your first sem question paper. Is that clear? Okay. Now, can I just drop this now? If you want, you can take a screenshot of this, please. You can take a screenshot of this. So the I have given Now I'll just drop this. Now, once we complete this, everyone, I will send you a what you call image. In that, the chapters are also given. For example, in question number one, which chapter you're going to get question from which chapter, question number two, and roughly I have calculated the amount of marks from each chapter. So I'll just read out. I'll be sending this image in your group also. Okay. So everyone, from the application of derivative, that is 16, that is section C, you get 16 marks. From the chapter function, you're going to get three questions, one for two for short answer question, 2 plus 2, and one long answer question. So 12 marks. From inverse, you're going to get four questions, 8 marks. So 2 marks each. Relation, one question, 2 marks. Determinant, three questions, 6 marks. Metrics, three questions, oh no, 4 questions for 2 marks and one question for 8 marks. And derivative or differentiation, you're going to get 5 questions for 2 marks each, because derivative is a long chapter. It contains what? Application of derivative, continuity, all those, L'Hospital, everything is gonna come. So you're going to get 5 questions, 2 marks each, so 5 twos are 10, and one question that is long answer, that is maxima and minima. So today, everyone, we are going to start off with Today, we are going to start off with calculus. So I'll tell you basically what you need to study for this particular topic, calculus. The major portion will come in your first sem from this particular chapter. So calculus is basically two parts. One is derivative and one is integration. So derivative is going to come for first sem and integration is going to come for the second sem. Is that clear? So today we are just going to discuss derivative, DER, derivative, or we call it differentiation also. Differentiation. Differentiation. The symbol that we use is dy by dx. This has got various names that we'll come to know when we do application of derivative. Is that clear? Okay. From this particular derivative, the first part is I will teach you how to differentiate. The first part is I'm going to teach you how to differentiate. So when we learn how to differentiate, these are the functions which you have to learn how to differentiate. So the first function that I'm going to teach you is a composite function, composite, composite function. Composite function, some call it composite also, no problem. So composite function. Next, I will teach you how to differentiate a log function. I will teach you how to differentiate a log function. Next, I'm going to teach you how to differentiate a parametric function. So basically, in the first semester, you are going to get questions from each part. Got it? Log, parametric. In that specific paper that was sent, parametric was there. Then I'm going to teach you how to differentiate an inverse, inverse, inverse function. That means these are all different type of functions which we will learn how to differentiate. Once again, I will teach you how to differentiate a composite function. Then I'm going to teach you how to differentiate a log function, then parametric. Once you understand parametric, there's one more function that is called function with respect to another function. So it comes under parametric only. That means if you understand this, this will not be a problem. So this is inverse. Is that clear? So once you understand inverse, then we have implicit function. Implicite, implicit function. So these are the functions which you have to learn to differentiate. Is that clear? Composite function, log, parametric, inverse, and implicit. EIMPLICIT, implicit function. Is that clear? So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 type of functions. And in the what do you call question that was sent, parametric is there, inverse is there, implicit is there. So you need to learn all. So the first function that we are going to learn is very, very important. So I want you all to attend 1 week's class properly. You will understand everything. Trust me. Like tomorrow's class is going to be one of the most important classes for derivative. If you understand tomorrow's class, you'll be able to do log, you'll be able to do parametric, you'll be able to do inverse, you'll be able to do implicit also. Is that clear? Okay. So these are the functions. So once you learn how to differentiate different functions, got it? Then there are what do you call, three additional chapters which we need to learn based on derivative only. Those are L Hospital's theorem. This has come in the specimen paper. Then we have second order. Second order means differentiating the function two times, and we have application. So this is, so I'll just write that under application only. So these are the two additional chapters which you have to do for after you do derivative. The name of the topics are L Hospital and second order derivative. This also has come. This also has come in the specimen paper. Parametric is there. Inverse is there. Is that clear? Okay. Now, once you understand this, it's just what you call a chain process. Once you understand composite, you'll understand log, then parametric, inverse, implicit, L Hospital, second order. Now, after that, once you have completely understood how to differentiate, I told you differentiation means what? We are differentiating y with respect to x. This is the symbol, isn't it? Now, this particular value which you see, dy by dx, has got various names or has got various applications in day-to-day life, has got various applications. So that comes under application of derivative. Application of derivative means this particular symbol which you see, dy by dx, has a lot of applications. Is that clear? So the applications that you need to prepare, the applications which you need to prepare are the applications that you need to prepare are the first one is Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem, LMVT, it is there. Next, we have tangent and normal, tangent and normal. Next, we have, after tangent and normal, we have rate of change. Next, we have increasing, decreasing, and we have one more approximation is also there. Okay, but that will either rate, it will come with a rate only, approx, and finally for 8 marks, maxima and minima. Maxima and minima. So if you prepare these topics which I have written, then you will be able to do this semester's examination very well. Because if you complete this, then the chapters that are left are matrices, that was taught in class 10 only, determinant, relation function, and inverse. 4 chapters are there. Is that clear? So this is the main thing. So we need to focus on this properly. So that is why the reason why I give you all this is because I'm going to start teaching you from composite function. We are going to spend a lot of time doing composite function. Once you understand this, then these remaining topics that you see will not take a lot of time. Is that clear? So with this, please take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this. So this is the entire syllabus which you have to do from calculus. Okay, I hope the whiteboard is visible and my audio is also. I hope you all can hear me. Kushi,
Yes, sir.
Reva.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kriyatna, can you hear me? Okay, Tenzin, Ronit, Sejal, okay, Yugal. Anu. Okay, those I'm extremely sorry today. I had to cancel the offline class suddenly because there was something like there was a program going on in the tuition room and I was not aware of that. And there were a lot of people, so I did not want you all to come in the what do you call crowd. So that's why I thought that I will be teaching you in your online class only. So I just suspended the class. Okay, so tomorrow we will continue. So let us begin with composite function today. Everyone ready? So take a screenshot of this. Okay, so the basics I'm going to explain today. So this is a very important class. Okay, I have recorded also, so you can go through it. Okay, now everyone look at the board. So derivative says whenever you come across an explicit function, explicit function, explicit function means there is a variable y which is expressed in terms of x. There is a variable y which is expressed in terms of x. Is that clear? Then this is called an explicit function. For mathematics, you will come across only this type of equation. On the left, you will see y, and on the right, you will see x. So this is an explicit function. Whereas if you talk about what do you call physics, then the variables are going to change, but the concept remains same. Like s in terms of t, distance in terms of time. S is y and distance is t. Is that clear? So given an explicit function y on the left, x on the right, then the variable y will be called the dependent variable, and the variable x will be called an independent variable. Independent variable. So given an explicit function, y will be called the dependent variable and x will be called the independent variable. And when we have to differentiate, we differentiate always the dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. That is, the dependent variable is y and the independent variable is x. And this is read as differentiating y with respect to x. Is that clear? Now, differentiation means we are breaking the function into smaller parts. Differentiation means we are breaking the function into smaller parts. So, we got the first order derivative, a keep differentiate garnu, dy by dx. Then we got second order derivative, d2y by dx to ajay break garnu. Then we got the third order derivative, we got the fourth order derivative. You break the function till you get zero. That means till it comes to zero. Is that clear? But for your syllabus, there are only two derivatives. That is the first order dy by dx, a keep differentiate garnu. Then there's the second order, that is d2y by dx2. That means differentiated two times. Is that clear? So the next thing that should come to your mind is why is y called dependent and why is x called independent? Okay. So I'll just give you a simple example. So zero, sir. Suppose a explicit function, sorry, y equal to x square plus 2. So this is an explicit function. Y is expressed in terms of x. So if I have to plot this point, if I have to plot this, it's a quadratic equation, isn't it? It's a quadratic equation. So if I have to plot this point, how do I plot this? Yeah, Raja. You take random values of x square value 1 लगाउँदा y कति हुन्छ 1 square is 1 1 plus 2 is 3 x square value 2 लगाउँदा 2 2s are 4 4 plus 2 is 6 x square value 3 लगाउँदा y equal value 3 2s are 6 7 8 8. So what we observe out here is the choice of x is random, isn't it? And the value of y, the value of y totally depends on the value of x. That is why the term which you see on the left is called your dependent variable, and the term which you see on the right is called your independent variable. The choice of x was random. J लगाउँदा पनि त भयो. According to that, the value of y changed, isn't it? So that is why given an explicit function, explicit भनौँ मतलब left hand side मा एउटा variable, right hand side मा अर्को variable, the variable to the left is called the dependent and the variable to the right is called your independent. So whenever you are breaking the function, differentiation भनौँ मतलब breaking the function, you always differentiate the dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. Dependent variable with respect to the independent variable. Keep this in mind. Okay. So that is how you get dy by dx. What is dy by dx? We are differentiating y with respect to x. And someone asks you, if what does differentiation mean? You simply tell them that differentiation means we are breaking the function into smaller parts. Dy by dx means differentiating, breaking it the function once. D2y by dx2 means differentiating the function twice. D3y by dx3 means differentiating the function thrice, and so on. In a higher level, you will be doing higher orders of derivative, but for class 12 syllabus, you have to do till second order derivative. Is that clear? So this one is done. Now I'll give you formulas. I will give you the formulas which will be needed for us to differentiate. Formulas formulas which will break the function. Okay. The first formula is d by dx of x to the power n. X to the power n. N will come in front, so x to the power n minus 1. So again, I'm telling you, there are 11 formulas. If you go through these 11 formulas and study, then the entire calculus can be understood and done very easily. Okay, so the first formula says whenever the power of x is a constant, the constant comes in front and you break one. That means the power gets reduced by one. Is that clear? That is that is the first formula. Is that clear? The second formula, I can give you an example. X to the power 5 गरे. So 5 अगाडि गयो, x to the power 5 minus 1 is 4. Differentiation means power घट्दै घट्दै जान्छ. 4 छ भने 3 हुन्छ, 3 छ भने 2, 2 छ भने 1, 1 छ भने ultimately 0. That's it. त्यहाँदेखि हुँदैन. Got it? Negative हुँदैन. Okay. The second formula is dy dx of e to the power x. The derivative of e to the power x is e to the power x, and if there is dy dx of e to the power mx, then m is a constant, m comes in front, e to the power mx. So this is the second formula. Okay, the third formula is dy dx of a to the power x is equal to a to the power x into log a, and dy dx of a to the power mx is m, the constant comes in front, a to the power mx as it is into log a. Log a. Formula number 4, dy dx of log x will be equal to 1 by x. And finally, formula number 5, dy dx of a constant is equal to 0. So these are the first set of formulas. So these formulas will help us break number 1, an algebraic function, x one will be algebraic function, e one will be exponential function, and log function. So this formula will help us break 3 type of functions. The moment you see x, power घट्छ, the moment you see e, त्यति नै रहन्छ. That means exponential function break गर्नु सक्दैन रहेछ. Ex को derivative ex है. If there is a constant, the constant comes in front, but it will remain as it is. Right? And log x gets broken into 1 by x. So these are the 5 formulas for algebraic, x भनेको algebraic, e भनेको exponential, got it, and log. And differentiation of a constant is 0. 7 को derivative is 0. Differentiation of any constant is 0. So these are the first set of formulas. So please take a screenshot of this first. Please take a screenshot of this first. If you do the class regularly, then you will have no problems. Okay, you can WhatsApp me anytime. If you have any confusion, I'll clear it. But please do it seriously, yeah? Because see, I had already done this. What do you call derivative? But for those who could not attend or were lazy, I'm doing it again. So please make use of it. And for your higher studies, if you don't know derivative, then forget about mathematics. I'm telling you. Okay, if you understand this, those who are taking science, it will be very helpful for you when you do physics also, because physics is entirely calculus, differentiation, integration. Because physics is all about what? Adding and subtracting, isn't it? कुनैको volume खोज्नु गरे, कुनैको area खोज्नु गरे, हैन? So means subtraction means what? Differentiation means we are breaking the function. Integration means we are what do you call joining and making it big. Okay, so these are the 5 formulas for algebraic, exponential, and log. So please take a screenshot of it. Okay, now there are 3 particular formulas based on algebraic function. This particular function, this particular formula, d by dx of x to the power n is equal to n dot x to the power n minus 1. The power comes in front, isn't it? But what I want you to do is, for these 3 formulas, you don't have to apply this formula again and again. Write down the direct result. So the first formula is d by dx of x, differentiation of x, is equal to 1. Differentiation. The moment someone tells you what is the differentiation of x, you are going to tell me 1. I'll show you how you got 1. Okay. So what is the power of x? The power of x is 1. So when you apply this formula, because this is an algebraic function, algebraic को लागि एउटा मात्रै formula छ, यही मात्रै हो. So what is going to happen to the power? The power comes in front. So 1 अगाडि आयो, and you subtract 1 from the power. So what do you get? 1 minus 1 is 0. And anything which power 0 is 1, 1 into 1 is 1. So this is how the derivative of x is 1. So next time if someone tells you what is the derivative of x, you don't have to do all this process. Directly write down x for derivative 1. Is that clear? Next answer, derivative of root x. Derivative of root x, it's your own with the 1 by 2 root x. because the reason why I'm giving you this is these are the frequently repeated formulas. Is that clear? So you don't. So I don't want you all to waste time doing showing the formulas. So the moment next time you see root x, you're directly gonna write 1 by 2 root x. So how did you get this? Again, it's an algebraic function. Kin an x एवढे मात्रै formula छ. So see, I'll just do it out here. D by dx of root x. So root x bhanu matlab x to the power half. Root means to the power half. So what is going to happen to that half? Half agadi jन्छ. So half agadi goyo x to the power half minus 1. So what do you get? 1 by 2. Half minus 1 is minus half. So if I take it down, it becomes positive. If I take it down, it becomes positive. And x to the power half banu matlab kyo root x. So 1 by 2 root x. So I don't want you all to waste time doing this. So next time if you see root x, directly you are going to tell me 1 by 2 root x. Is that clear? And finally, formula number 3, d by dx of 1 by x. The formula is minus 1 by x squared. The formula is minus 1 by x squared. I'll show you how you got this. See, I'll show you how you got this. Look at this. X is an algebraic function. X is an algebraic function, isn't it? So there's only one formula for algebraic function, that is x to the power n. If you want to use this, then x can't be in the denominator. It has to be in the numerator. So how do you take it to the numerator? You know, you have learned in junior classes laws of indices. Your x ko mati goyo bhane ke huncha? It becomes x to the power minus 1. Now x to the power minus 1 is a constant, so your minus 1 ka jन्छ? So minus 1 comes in front, so you get x to the power minus 1. So that is minus 1, x to the power minus 1 is minus 2. So you get minus 1 divided by negative goes down and becomes positive x to the power 2. So that is how derivative of 1 by x is minus 1 by x squared. So please take a screenshot of this. So please take a screenshot of this. So this was the particular cases. This was the particular cases. Okay, so you're done with the particular cases. Now the 5 formulas are done. Now 6 more formulas are there. That is trigonometric functions. Okay, trigonometric functions. Okay, everyone, look at the board. So the 6th formula is d by dx of sine x. D by dx of sine x. Sine x derivative is going to be cos x. That means when you break sine x, you're going to get cos x. Keep that in mind. Okay. So suppose you have to differentiate sine only, but with a constant. Constant, sorry. So derivative, I told you constant agadi आउँछ. So m agadi गयो, and derivative of sine is cos mx. So most of the students, they know that they have to bring the constant in front, but they don't write the constant out here. That is wrong. Okay. I'll give you an example. Sine 3x को derivative. 3 agadi आयो, so it will become 3 cos 3x, not 3 cos x. So 3 agadi आयो भनेर चाहिँ होइन नि फेरि. 3 agadi cos 3x will be there. So this is formula number 6. Formula number 6. Then we have formula number 7. d by dx of cos x. Sin x derivative cos x and cos x derivative minus sin x. Same thing out here. Formula number 8. d by dx of tan x. Tan x derivative will be sec square x. d by dx of cot x. Cot x derivative is minus cos x square x. d by dx of sec x will be equal to sec x into tan x. And finally, formula number 11, d by dx of cosec x will be equal to minus cosec x into cot x. Minus cosec x into cot x. So these are the remaining 6 formulas. So that makes the total 11. Is that clear? So once again, when you break sine, you get cos. When you break cos, you get minus sine. When you break tan, you get sec square x. When you break cot, you get minus cosec square x. When you break sec x, you get sec x into tan x. And when you break cosec x, you get minus cosec x into cot x. So these are the 11 formulas that you have to study for this particular chapter, that is derivative. And if you study these 11 formulas, then this will help us cover all the what you call chapters that are going to come in our first semester. So the faster you memorize the formulas, the faster you are going to understand derivative. Is that okay? So please take a screenshot of this 11 formulas. Now, there are, before you break the function, there are few properties which you have to follow. You cannot break the function without using the property. Okay, so there are, in fact, there are four properties that I'm going to teach you. Number one property says d by dx of whenever there is a constant and a function, whenever there is a constant and a function together, you cannot break the function unless and until you take the constant out. So that means the constant goes out and then you differentiate the function. Again, differentiation means we are breaking the function. Is that clear? Example, d by dx of 7 log x array. So you know log x can be broken. Log x को formula number 4 के हो, log x को formula 1 by x हो, तर 7 सँग छ नि त. So unless and until you remove 7 बाहिर गयो ए, d by dx of log x. So 7, this the formula does not apply for 7 as long as it is with a constant. The reason why I'm teaching you this is most of the students get confused with this number one property and formula number 5. Formula number 5 says differentiation of a constant is 0. So what they see is 7 log x, 7 the constant हो, यसको 0 लगाउँछ, log x को 1 by x. So 0 into 1 by x भनेको त 0, but that's wrong. So the formula differentiation of a constant 0 is applicable only if there is a constant. If the constant of variable chanta. So whenever there is a constant and a variable, property 5 formula 5 lagdaina, property 1 lag. So the constant goes in front. That means you cannot break the constant if it is with a variable. In a simple language, you cannot break the constant if it is with a variable. Constant मात्रै छ भने त direct 0 लेख्दियौ, तर अब variable सँग भएकोले गर्दा चाहिँ यो 0 लेख्दैन. This constant cannot be broken, so constant agadi आउँछ. So derivative of log x is 1 by x. That is property number 1. Okay, property number 2 says, property number 2, this is easy. Whenever there are two or more basic functions छ, बीचमा चाहिँ plus minus छ अरे, बीचमा plus minus भन्नु मतलब either plus or either minus. Okay, so when there are many functions and in between then if there's a plus or a minus sign, then you simply have to differentiate them individually. एक एकवटालाई d by dx of u plus d by dx of v. एक एकवटालाई formula लगाइदियो, त्यति मात्रै हो. बीचमा plus and minus will remain as it is. So this is property number 2. This is property number 2. Now there are two more properties and important properties. Property number 3, I'll just rub this. Okay. So property number 3 says whenever there is a multiplication sign, d by dx of u into v, you cannot apply the formula directly. You cannot apply the formula directly. In fact, what you have to do is you have to apply the formula one at a time. बुझ्यो त? So one at a time भन्नु मतलब u लाई as it is राख, o लाई differentiate गर v लाई. अब v लाई as it is राख, o लाई differentiate गर u. So this property, please don't forget. If you apply the formula directly, I've given you the 11 formulas. If you apply the formula directly, then you are wrong. If there's a multiplication sign, property चलाउनै पर्छ. Property ले के भन्छ? You cannot break the function if there is a multiplication sign between two functions. So in order to break them, I have to consider one as a constant, then break the second one, plus keep the second one as the constant and then break the first one. Is that okay? Yes or no? Example एउटा दिदैछु यहाँ, d by dx of हैन x into log x अरे लु. You know x लाई break गर्दा 1 आउँछ and log x लाई break गर्दा 1 by x. But I cannot write यसको derivative, I cannot write 1 into 1 by x. Reason, there is you cannot apply the formula if there is a multiplication sign. So I have to use the rule. Rule ले के भन्छ, एउटालाई constant राख, अर्कोलाई differentiate गर. That means apply the formula only for the second one. Now you keep the second one constant and apply the formula for the first. So see, x as it is, log x a formula लगाएन नि मैले, because this one we are treating as a constant. Log x को formula लगाऊ 1 by x plus अब फेरि log x लाई break गरेको हैन, because d by dx त x को मा मात्रै छ. So differentiation of x is 1. So this is the formula. Oh sorry, this is the simplified value. Is that clear? Not x को 1 log x को 1 by x. So please keep in mind, this is very, very important. So please take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this. Okay, so this is done. Now we come to the last property. We come to the last property, that is called the quotient rule. If there is a division sign, that means d by dx of u by v divides अरे. So त्यति बेला के गर्छ, एक एकवटाको न्युमरेटरको आफ्नै फर्मुला, डिनोमिनेटरको आफ्नै फर्मुला लगाउँदैन. We are not going to put the formula. Is that clear? We are not going to put the formula individually. So in fact, whenever there is a division sign, this is called quotient rule. I forgot to tell you, अघिको product multiply थियो, त्यसैले product, अहिलेको division, त्यसै कारण quotient. So the rule is square the denominator, v लाई square गर्न. अब v लाई constant राख, differentiate the numerator, minus u constant, differentiate the denominator. Differentiate the denominator. Is that clear? See, one more time, how did I do it? Whenever there is a division sign, quotient rule banta. Denominator like square garnu, keep the denominator constant, differentiate the numerator. One thing you keep in mind, you are going to apply the formula, that is differentiate, only when you see d by dx. Right? D by dx bhannu matlab differentiate bhannu matlab break garnu bhaneko. So you keep v constant, यसलाई formula चलाउँदैन, as it is राख्छ. You are going to differentiate the numerator u, minus अब u like constant राख, differentiate the denominator. So the difference between product rule and quotient rule is product rule मा plus हुन्छ, quotient rule मा minus हुन्छ. And quotient rule मा the first term has to be v. The first term has to be v, because product rule मा the sign was plus, so it does not matter whether 1 plus 2 is 3 or 2 plus 1 is 3. What I'm trying to tell you is order does not matter. ल या त u लाई अगाडि लेख या त v लाई अगाडि लेख, मतलब छैन, because plus छ नि त, तर यहाँ माइनस भएकोले गर्दा चाहिँ v अगाडि हुनै पर्छ. Is that clear? Okay, so this is also done. Now I'm just gonna just gonna give you the last part. Okay, I'll just give you a simple guideline as to solve any question on derivative. Any question of derivative. First, the nature of the question. Nature of the question भन्नुको मतलब दुई प्रकारको हुन्छ. Either the question will be y equal to fx, यसलाई के भन्छौ अरे हामी explicit, या त x र y सँगै हुन्छ, यसलाई भन्छ implicit. Implicit. Got it? Nature of the question. So either explicit होस् या implicit होस्, we always differentiate with respect to what? The independent variable. Independent कुन चाहिँ छ? X. We differentiate with respect to x. We differentiate with respect to x. Now step number 2, अब differentiate त भन्यौ. Now differentiate भन्नु मतलब you have to break the function, and to break the function that means we have to apply the formula. मैले के भने algebraic function कसरी break हुन्छ? Power घट्छ. x to the power 4, 4 अगाडि गयो, x cube गरे. एक्सपोनेन्शियल फंक्शन कसरी घट्छ? घट्दैन. ex को डेरिभेटिभ ex. log x कसरी घट्छ? 1 by x. sin x कसरी घट्छ? cos x. So before you apply the formula, just see whether you can apply property पो चल्छ कि चल्दैन. property पो चल्छ कि चल्दैन. How do you come to know property? Property भनिहाले चारटा property छ. एउटा, if there is a constant and a function, यो constant अगाडि जान्छ हैन. u plus minus b छ भने एक एकवटा individual differentiate गर्छ. If there is a multiplication sign, product rule चलाउँछ. र if there is a division sign, quotient rule चलाउँछ. So if there is a question in which there is a multiplication sign, direct formula नगर्नु, भुल नगर्नु, property चलाउनु पहिला. If there is a division sign, then use quotient rule, then only apply the formula. Please follow this sequence. Is that clear? Okay. And finally, the third one is formula. Third one is formula. अब formula भन्नु मतलब the 11 formulas which I have given it to you. So you will get functions which will satisfy the formula. त्यसलाई भन्छ standard function भन्छ. Standard function भन्छ. And you will come across functions which will not satisfy the formula. and that is called a composite function. So tomorrow we are going to start off with composite function. Those functions which can be simplified by applying the formula is called standard function. Just there, log x standard function हो किन log x को डेरिभेटिभ 1 by x हो हैन तर log sin x त स्ट्यान्डर्ड फंक्शन हो नि त किन स्ट्यान्डर्ड फंक्शन होइन बिकज log sin x को त फर्मुलै त छैन log सँग के हुनुपर्छ x हुनुपर्छ तर त्यसको त फर्मुलै छैन त्यसै कारण त्यसलाई that comes under composite function. So tomorrow I'm going to teach you how to apply formula for this composite function. And finally the fourth step is simplification. Simplification भन्नुको मतलब अब फ्र्याक्सन छ भने एलसीएम ल्याइदियो हैन फ्र्याक्सन छ भने एलसीएम ल्याइदियो कमन लिनु सक्छ भने कमन ल्याइदियो. So these are the four steps which you have to keep in mind whenever you are differentiating a function. So question मै भनेको हुन्छ find dy by dx. So once again what does dy by dx mean? dy by dx भन्नुको मतलब we are breaking the function y with respect to x. Differentiation भनेको मतलब we are breaking the function y with respect to x. Y is called the dependent variable and x is called the independent variable. So जुनै पनि question यो दुईटा फर्ममा हुन्छ y एक्लै छ x थुप्रै छ राइटमा that is called explicit. यो त खाली जान्नुको knowledge मात्रै हो. When x and y are together this is called an implicit function. Either if it's explicit or implicit differentiate गर्ने त x सँगै हो because x is the independent variable हैन. So when you differentiate with respect to x the first thing that should come to your mind is property. If there is a यो त भइहाल्छ constant छ भने constant अगाडि गयो plus minus छ भने एक एकवटालाई differentiate गर्यो. If there is a multiplication sign product rule, if there is a division sign quotient rule. So once you apply the property then you have to apply the formula, and when you are about to apply the formula just ask yourself the question, does this function come under the 11 formulas which I have given? भन्दै अगर हो भने नि standard function, अगर होइन भने पनि composite function. I'll give you a few examples of standard and composite. जस्तै हेर ल तिमीलाई e to the power x को फर्मुला त थाहा छ नि यो स्ट्यान्डर्ड फंक्सनमा आउँछ तर यसलाई नै मैले e to the power cos x भने हेरे यसको त फर्मुला त छैन e को टुप्पामा त के हुनुपर्छ x हुनुपर्छ तर cos x त. So this comes under composite. Okay, suppose मैले भने हेरे root x particular case number 2 root x को फर्मुला थाहा छ root x भनेको मतलब के हो 1 by 2 root x यसको फर्मुला थाहा छ. So यो this comes under standard function. तर मैले यसलाई डिफरेन्शिएट गर भने हेरे root log x यसको त फर्मुलै थाहा छैन किन थाहा छैन root हुनु बित्तिकै भित्र के हुनुपर्छ x. So this is composite function. So I hope you are understanding what I'm trying to tell you. Suppose तिमीलाई मैले भने sin x लाई ब्रेक गर भने त तिमीले इजिली भन्छौ sin x को डेरिभेटिभ के हो cos x. तर मैले हेर sin x क्यूब लाई डिफरेन्शिएट गर भने त सक्दैनौ किन यसको त फर्मुलै छैन. कुन चाहिँ फर्मुला छ sin सँग त x हुनु पर्यो तर यहाँ के छ x क्यूब. So this comes under composite function. Is that clear? So once again before I end today's class explicit या implicit हुन्छ property multiply छ भने product rule चलाउनु divide छ भने quotient rule चलाउनु लास्टमा फर्मुला अप्लाई गर्दा फर्मुला थाहा छ भने स्ट्यान्डर्ड थाहा छैन भने composite and finally we have to simplify. Finally we have to के गर्नुपर्छ रे we have to simplify this. Is that clear? So this was your first class on calculus everyone. So remember the 11 formulas which I have given it to you. भोलिको class is very important because भोलिको class मै तिमीले composite function सिकि नै हाल्छौ. Once you understand that then it's just okay भन्छ then you can do all the questions. It's just that every topic we complete you will become more confident in solving questions from derivative. Is that clear everyone? So please the video has been recorded, so please go through it and make a note of whatever has been taught. Is that clear? Because this is how you are going to prepare for your first sem examination. As I've already told you it's not going to be difficult. सजिलो हुन्छ. After every lesson I will teach you in detail all the topics. Is that clear? And once I complete the topic then I'm going to teach you difficult MCQ questions. I'll give you set of questions to do on your own based on that topic, and that is all gonna be MCQ type of questions. Is that clear? Okay. Good night everyone. See you tomorrow. on offline आउनेहरुको टाइमिङ थाहा छ, online आउनेलाई 6 o'clock. Okay, good night. If you have any problems, screenshot गरेर मलाई पठाऊ. I will explain that.